What if Kira was in Jujutsu Kaisen? Which of the characters would have agreed with or been on board for what he was doing? Shout out to Josue who asked me about this, and this is really interesting, right? Because Kira's philosophy was basically super utilitarian, consequentialist, right? The ends justify the means. If he can get rid of all criminals, then he will get rid of all crime. So, who in JJK would have been on board for that type of philosophy? And honestly, I've been thinking about this a lot. I don't really think many people would because of the good guys, they're not going to be on board for that extreme measure, right? Like killing people by the end of Death Note who really did not deserve to die, right? And then the bad guys aren't really going to be on board for this either because they would be the ones being killed. So the more I thought about this, I really thought there's only two people that come to mind. The first and most obvious is Geto, because he pretty much was the Kira of JJK, just seen through the lens of sorcery, right? Because he reached the extreme conclusion of, I guess we just need to kill all non-sorcerers in order to solve the cursed spirit, cursed energy problem, right? It's the same thing as Light being like, we got to get rid of all the criminals to get rid of the crime. So even though Geto wouldn't necessarily be on the same page in terms of like the criminals, I think he would be on board for the underlying philosophy that represented. But then the other case I would make would be for Higuruma. And hear me out, because at the end of the series, Higuruma would absolutely not be on board for what Kira was doing. But if we caught Higuruma earlier on, then you might be able to recruit him to the cause, because justice was at the center of his character and his character arc, right? He wanted to like right the wrongs in the world. That's why he became a lord. He always had this strong sense of chasing justice. However, what he considered justice evolved as the series went on, and he had all of these problems with corruption and how, justice really was blind to the true context of what was going on. So again, by the end of JJK, I think he's kind of evolved to a stance where he would not agree with what Light was doing. But if you caught him at the beginning, I think they might really link up on trying to pursue this greater view of the world by eliminating what they viewed to be as evil. But yeah, other than that, I really don't think there's anyone else that's siding with him, right? Even like cursed spirits or the disaster curses, sure, they're going to be on board for killing as many humans as possible, but Light in the world of JJK is also going to consider cursed spirits evil and criminals, right? So they're going to be on his hit list as well, meaning they aren't going to want to work with him. But y'all let me know your thoughts.